Hey friends, welcome to the channel. Today, we are talking about something that is literally the heart and brain of everything electronic around you, the humble semiconductor chip. From your mobile phone to your car, your fridge, and even the missiles used for defense, nothing works without these tiny, sophisticated chips. They influence nearly every facet of our modern life. If you look at the global market, the semiconductor industry is projected to become a $1 trillion industry by 2030. Right now, it is valued between $500 to $600 billion, and this is the engine that powers the $3 trillion global electronics industry. So, if you want to be a global technology leader, you must have control over chip manufacturing. Now, where does India stand in this picture? The Indian semiconductor market itself was valued at around $26.3 billion in 2022, but the projections are massive. We are expected to reach $271.9 billion by 2032. India's electronics manufacturing industry overall is expected to be worth $300 billion by the financial year 2025 to 26. The demand for chips is going to skyrocket here because we are heading towards having over 1 billion smartphone users, 10 million electric vehicles, and 2 billion IoT, or Internet of Things, devices. This makes the semiconductor sector the next big space in domestic manufacturing. The problem is, despite this huge demand, India is still a net importer when it comes to chips. We rely very heavily on imports for semiconductor devices. For example, in 2021, our imports were around $5.36 billion, while exports were quite meager, only $0.52 billion in 2022. This heavy dependence on foreign-made chips creates a critical vulnerability. As we saw during the pandemic and with recent geopolitical tensions, concentrating the supply chain in just one country poses huge risks for the entire world. When there are supply chain shocks, it makes India susceptible to price volatility and shortage. This dependence affects everything, from our economy to our critical defense systems. The good news is that the Indian government has acknowledged this strategic significance and made a determined push to position India as a global powerhouse for chip making. The foundation of this effort is the India Semiconductor Mission, or ISM. It was launched in 2021 with a total financial outlay of 76,000 crore rupees, that's roughly $9.2 billion. The ISM is part of a comprehensive program designed to develop a sustainable semiconductor and display ecosystem in the country. It is envisioned to be led by global experts and serve as the nodal agency for the efficient implementation of all these schemes. The ISM provides financial support through several schemes. This includes setting up semiconductor fabrication or Fab plants, display fabs, and also assembly, testing, marking, and packaging, or ATMP facilities. The overall vision is to build a vibrant design and innovation ecosystem so India emerges as a global hub for electronics manufacturing. And we are already seeing progress on the ground. India's strength lies in its large talent pool of young engineers. We have had a thriving chip design industry since the 1990s. These skilled engineers can design a chip entirely in software, optimizing its functionality, and then send the design file to a fab plant for manufacturing. The government has successfully wooed major global players. For instance, Micron Technology has signed an MOU with the Gujarat state government to establish a semiconductor unit worth 22,500 crore rupees. More importantly, the Tata Group has partnered with Taiwan's Powerchip Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation, or PSMC, to set up a 300mm wafer fabrication plant in Gujarat. This plant is ambitious and plans to roll out its first chip at the crucial 28nm node in 2026. Now, 28 nanometers is considered a legacy node, and India's current focus is around this node or higher. This is seen as a sensible starting point, allowing us to improve our game over time. Additionally, 2 more assembly and test plants have been approved in Gujarat and Assam. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has even stated that India's first domestically manufactured semiconductor chip will be ready for production by 2025. And just recently, Israel's Tower-Semiconductor and the Adani Group also announced a plan for a $10 billion chip unit in Maharashtra. So, the foundation for this foundational industry is being laid. But, it is crucial to understand the challenges, because this is not an easy road. Manufacturing semiconductors requires huge capital investments, faces high risk, and has long gestation periods. It takes many years just to set up a fab. Another critical challenge is the talent gap. Even though we have a large pool of engineers, a recent study estimated a severe shortage of 250,000 to 3 lakhs specialized semiconductor professionals by 2027 in areas like advanced chip design and 3D packaging. While the government has schemes like the Design-Linked Incentive, or DLI, aiming to support startups, the implementation has been slow in the initial phase. Then there's the competition. Right now, India has only one mega fab under construction, whereas China is building 44 and the US is building 15. We need to expand rapidly. A crucial point highlighted by the Prime Minister himself is the need for less paperwork and more wafer work. This means India needs to streamline its regulatory framework, cut down on bureaucracy, and ensure faster approvals to attract global semiconductor investments and reduce delays. The good news is that by focusing on legacy nodes like 28 nanometers first and leveraging our existing strength in chip design, India is following a sensible path. If we can address these infrastructural and talent gaps and ensure coordination between different agencies, India can secure its place as a key player in the global semiconductor industry and truly achieve technological self-reliance. The semiconductor mission is not just about chips, it's about securing India's digital future.